thank you so much for joining me on this beautiful weather day. This is true commitment for those of you who are actually physically here, and I thank you for being here. If you have not muted yourself already, please make sure you do mute, because stray sounds do come through on the other end as you come in. And again, if you've got questions, please just drop them in the chat, and both Kim and Mary are going to be monitoring those for me, and we'll get those answered for you when I have a break, okay? And without further ado, let me go ahead and share my screen here, and we'll get started. All right. Hopefully everybody can see my screen okay here. Okay. So today, Kim and Mary asked me to talk about video content. I can't agree more with them as to why they selected this topic, because it is vital for every business, if you have a business, to use video content. And so the very fact that we're talking about this today, hopefully, if you are not already using video content, I hope this will inspire you to move forward with attempting to do it. We're going to certainly cover a lot of different aspects of what it takes to create video. Now, because of the nature of the fact that we are virtual, it is going to be a little complicated for me to demo things on my phone, but I've certainly got things on my screen. And if you have specific questions, I may be able to address them within the platforms themselves once we get to that point, okay? And again, I know all of you are at different points in your video knowledge and your expertise and technology and that kind of thing. And so please understand, this is to address, I think, the majority of you. If there's something that you do not know, don't be afraid to ask. And if you already do know it, thank you for listening again. All right, so very first, gotta share a quote, love this. The beauty of developing a video marketing plan is that you are making it easier for your viewer to be exposed to the information you are trying to communicate. We're going to get into exactly why this is so important, because video marketing simply makes it easier for the consumer, the person that is engaging with you, to get to know you faster and quicker and give them the information you want to give them. So today we're going to cover these 6 topics. And pretty much in the same order that I have them listed. We're going to talk a little bit about why does short video work, the elements of why it does, and how to use video to connect with your customers, ideas on what content to actually shoot, because I don't know about you, but sometimes we all get a creative rut and are like, what should I, focus on? We're going to address that as well. What does it take to make an effective short video? What are the things that you need to be thinking about to make that video work for you? And then what do you need to get started and overcome stage fright? I think all of us, when you put a camera in front of our faces, become a completely different person, myself included. So we're going to talk about how do you deal with that, and then how to best share your video content within the social platforms themselves. All right, so the very first thing I want to address, why do short videos work? Okay, well, I had to put a video together for you. So we're going to show you the video. Give me 1 second so I can make sure I've optimized the sound on it. All right, hopefully all of you can see this. Actually, the biggest thing that I always tell people about why video content works is because it really gets to that authentic side of who you are and what your business is about. It also, just so you know, people's brains process images and videos so much faster. So it's super important to make sure that you're actually feeding their brains the content that is going to help them learn as quick as possible about what it is that you're trying to tell them. And then finally, we got shorter attention spans. I think they're getting shorter, and which means it's not going to be as overwhelming for your customer when they're watching video. They're more authentic, so your customers get to know you better. And consuming video is easier and more enjoyable for most, making it easier to learn about your business. And then it makes a perfect scenario for you to be able to educate and entertain your prospective customers. That's huge, right? So a lot of times people don't want to take that minute to actually read a blog or a post. They would much rather hit play on a video and watch that video. And somehow I lost all of your faces, which I am desperately trying to bring back up here. So forgive me. I'm trying to find them. But anyway, we're going to move on. So here are some interesting statistics. I hope these resonate with you. I find them very interesting, and they're definitely compelling as to why video is so important. Sprout Social put together this grid here at the top to compare the types of content marketers say are the most valuable for their social goals. So video, of course, ranked #1. And while it's the most important, it's also the most challenging for most. And that's why it is so important, because you don't have to be creating content every single day as far as video is concerned, but creating stuff that's good, that's valuable, it's going to get your message across, is going to make a huge difference in how you can reach your potential customer. And then, of course, following is images. So while you're at your farmer's market, behind the scenes, capturing images of what you're about is also super important. And then we fall into the text-based posts, stories, and live video. And we'll get into live video towards the end. So 93% of companies actually have acquired new customers via social media, video specifically. So, you know, I have to think, and we're going to get into TikTok, but you know, TikTok has exploded over the last couple of years. A lot of businesses are realizing that consumers are making decisions while they're on the platform watching videos. So they are serving up, ads while, folks are thumbing around and looking at the different videos. So, and the same thing is also happening on the other platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and potentially even YouTube as well. 58% of viewers will watch the entire video if it's less than 60 seconds. And we're going to get into the elements of creating a video, but for sure, having short, sweet, to the point videos is all that matters. And so ultimately, to make video content work for you, it needs to be packaged nicely, easy to understand, and as fast as possible to consume. So the days have not gotten here yet, and I hope they never will, where we get on a camera and we just continue to talk and talk and talk and talk and talk, because people don't want that. They just want short and to the point. So I like to use the word, the KISS method, the keep it simple, silly, right? So if you're doing that and you're making your stuff, compelling and you're entertaining or informative, you're going to win. Now, as far as the platforms that support short form video and growing, all right, I say and growing because Facebook is, well, it's not growing as fast as some of these others. And quite frankly, it's because of the younger generation is coming up and they're wanting to consume video in different ways. Those of us who are realizing this are now also adapting to these other platforms. TikTok has made a major surge the last 2 years, and then Instagram Reels has as well. Snapchat, yes, that's still alive. That is still kicking. I don't know who here actually uses it. If you do, I would love to hear in the chat your response on how that's working for you. And then, of course, YouTube. I don't know if you're familiar, but YouTube actually has something called Shorts, which are, up to 1 minute short clip videos, just like on TikTok and IG Reels. And they're actually doing really well also. And then there's Pinterest. And so if you have a consumer-based business where you are sharing details about your products and that kind of thing, Pinterest is also a really good platform for you to consider. For example, we work with a business that does knitting. She knits items and sells them, as well as sells tutorial kits and that kind of thing. And she does have a Pinterest account. And so sharing videos and tutorial videos and things like that are really helpful for her to grow her presence, not only for a farmer's market situation, but to be able to boost her online sales as well. All right, so as far as video links, I spoke in the beginning a little bit about the fact that you want to keep it short, and keeping to 60 seconds is ideal. Now, these other platforms do allow longer videos, and so if you do have a good following and people want to consume more of your content, creating videos that are longer than a minute is possible, and is sometimes something that does work well for your particular type of business, or whatever the initiatives that you're doing. So for example, TikTok does allow you now to upload videos that are up to 10 minutes in length. Now, if you use TikTok, you're probably aware that 10 minutes is going to seem like forever. So not a lot of people, I believe, are using that feature, and so usually the bulk of the videos on TikTok are upwards to a minute to maybe 3 minutes. Then you get into Snapchat. Snapchat only allows up to a minute. Instagram has a couple different ways that you can share video content. You can do it on the feed. Within the feed is the different individual square images. Those you can post videos up to 60 seconds or a minute. You can also do it on Reels, which Instagram Reels is between 15 seconds and a minute. Then you've got YouTube. Videos can be as long as you want them to be on YouTube. That being said, if you do a short video, then it can be only up to a minute. Pinterest videos can be anywhere between 4 seconds and 15 minutes. The only challenge with that is that the file size might be too large, and so you just want to be careful and not upload videos too large, because they will have trouble being pinned in Pinterest. All right, so ultimately, if you consider these three, basically the top two things, you're going to be able to stay better focused on what kinds of content to create. We're going to get into those different topics in just a second, but the main thing is, I have people come towards me and they're like, hey, Shannon, I just don't know what to talk about. I put the camera on my face and I'm like, I don't even know where to start. I don't even know what to say. The very first thing I ask is, what do your customers ask you more often? What are the things that they want to know about you or your business? And how can you help them answer those questions ahead of time so that you're not having to continuously. So you want to target your videos to what your actual customers want to know. So think about that long list. When you're at a farmer's market, when you're at a show, if you're, having somebody reach out to you on one of your social profiles and they're asking you questions, what are the questions that you get the most about your product? And is there a way to make it super easy peasy Louisy and put a video together where you can answer those questions for them and share that? And then you want to consider the top things you get asked, and then start with those and work your way, through that list at that point. Okay. Now, I did some digging around on TikTok. I had to find some cool videos. So, because I wanted to show you some examples of types of content that you can look for. If you're not familiar with TikTok, or you don't have an account on there yet, it is really easy to go in there and type in keywords, hashtags, and be able to find content based off of that area. And that's, quite frankly, one of the great ways that certain types of businesses are doing really well on TikTok, is because they're using a lot of different hashtags and keywords within their content so that it makes it easy for somebody to find their videos. So, ideas on what to shoot when you're given the opportunity. Well, behind the scenes always works well. And this gentleman in the video, he actually does a really good job of kind of showing what it is that they do. They're a berry farm, and he's showcasing what is the process at which they go through in order to pick out the berries. And so let me go ahead and show this to you.
Don't worry, be happy. 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 Ain't got no place to lay your head.
So I love it. He's smiley. He has lots of yummy looking berries. He's showcasing his process. And it gives a really good idea of what their business is about. I believe he's an organic farmer, and he does a lot of other types of videos and showcases his farm in other areas. But this, of course, was done for his strawberry farm. This other one is an educational tip video. I will tell you, the gal, her sound quality is not great, but I'm going to play it and it'll give you kind of an idea. She's talking about what she does in the morning and how she works her business. And again, it's a little hard to hear, but at least you can kind of get an idea.
Honeypot Farm is built on my mistakes. The idea of this sustainable homestead, for me, as modeled by the bees, is that I can walk the entire farm in a morning before a cup of coffee. Because it reminds me that if I wake up and I say, you know what, I had a bad night last night, I don't feel like it, the berry is gonna rot. And that's my crime against nature. We don't pick every weed because nature hates blank space. I don't want to get rid of every pest. What I want.
So I think she's kind of funny. She's got like this kind of unique way about her of how she is talking about her farm and what she does on a daily basis. And you know, the thing is and I hope you're picking this up, it doesn't have to be perfect. You know, you don't have to make it the most perfect polished video. Basically, both of these videos were more than likely done with a smartphone where they captured a bunch of clips, merged all those clips together, and then when they uploaded the videos, they added some of the captions and wording and that kind of thing over top. So we're going to get more into that in just a minute, but you know, I don't think it took too much for them to put these together. All right, so some other ones that are great ideas can be recipes using your products. And so I don't know about you guys, but I love it when I go to a booth, you know, like product is just out on the market because it's in season, and there's a recipe or something that showcases that product being used in a delicious recipe that incentivizes me as the consumer to want to purchase more of those produce, right? So, or perhaps you actually make soups, or perhaps you make you know, pastries and, you know, other types of bakery goods and that kind of thing. So always, you know, kind of sharing a little insight on the recipes and such is a really fun thing to do. Thought this gal did a really good job. She made it short and quick and to the point.
This is kind of an everything but the kitchen sink fall soup. I start by taking 2 red bell peppers, coring, de-seeding, along with 2 tomatoes I got from the farmer's market. Then I chopped half a white onion and about 8 carrots into small chunks. The carrots roast a lot slower, so you want to cut those into smaller pieces. Throw them all in a baking dish with 8 cloves of garlic, about a teaspoon of sea salt, half a teaspoon of cracked black pepper, 1 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, a teaspoon of cumin seed, about a 1/4 cup of good olive oil, and some bay leaves. Toss that all together and roast at 400 for an hour. Take that out and let it cool, then put it in a blender with 2 cans of coconut milk and blend on high until super creamy. Serve with a little parsley and follow to see more gluten-free healthy recipes.
Yeah, so I want that soup because I'm personally vegan and gluten-free, so yum. All right, so the next one is what I call a video montage. Video montage is like you capture a bunch of short clip videos and put them together to kind of give a quick tour of something, okay? literally just took a bunch of like short clip videos and just merged all those together. All right, so I'm going to get through. There's a couple more ideas for video ideas, and I see a couple questions have come through, and I am certainly going to address those. So hang tight for just another couple minutes. The next type is a promotional type video. And so this particular video showcases somebody talking about the benefits of having a farmer's market. You can use it to showcase products. You can showcase it a possible event that's coming up. It's a really great way to drum up excitement and energy for something. Okay, so here's an example of this one.
This is why you need to start shopping at your farmer's market. It's better for the environment. Oftentimes, produce travels thousands of miles to get to our grocery stores. And there's a lot less packaging. Because the produce is so fresh, it often tastes better and has a lot more vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. And if you're buying animal products, the animals are often more humanely raised.
So, and then, the cool thing is, if she uploaded this to TikTok, TikTok does allow you to do a voiceover. So she more than likely collected the videos, put those together, did a voiceover, and then added some of the copy over top. And I'm going to get to a question somebody actually asked me, how do you merge the clips together? So I am actually going to go over a possible tools that you all can use to help do this kind of work. And then last but not least, I'm not going to play this one very long just to kind of give you an idea, but it's a day in the life. So if you think about what it is that you do, and people want to know what you do and what is it like to do what you do, so if they may find it fascinating, like what's the process of how they create X or do this or do that. What is their farm like? What is it like to be setting up a booth at a farmer's market? Well, this gal is doing that exact thing. And she just goes through real quick and kind of describes what her experience is like when she's setting up her booth.
If you would like to know how I set up for a market, then you should keep watching. So each time that we get to the market on Saturdays, we find out where our booth is going to be that day. And then I immediately start unpacking my car. Luckily, I can park pretty close to my spot, so it's not that big of an issue. But I still wish I could unpack my car this quickly. That would be amazing. And then once I have everything unpacked, this is what it looks like. It looks like a mess, but it will get better, I promise. So I start by setting up my tables. This way I can kind of see how the shape of the booth will look that day, because I like to change it up frequently. And then I go ahead and start putting on my fitted tablecloths, and I got these from Amazon. They were super cheap.
I think you all get the point with that, but she basically goes through the entire video and shows how she sets up her booth. This particular video is a little bit longer than the others. I believe it's like a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes. All right, and then finally, a couple other ideas. And of course, this list is not all ending. It's just these are more popular topics that typically are easier to come up with ideas. But another one would be kind of like a diary style or a documentation of something. So, gosh, if you wanted to showcase, I'm just thinking off the cuff here. If you wanted to showcase the growing process of pumpkins, what they look like in their beginning stage, and then gradually get some quick videos as they grow, put that together as a video and showcase that in the fall, I'm just trying to think, basically just showcasing like day-to-day diary type things and merging all that together. Then we've got customer or influencer interviews. So really cool story. I went to a farmer's market and went to a coffee vendor. The coffee vendor actually took pictures and quick videos of all the customers that purchased his coffee, and commented if they had purchased it before and why they came back and why they liked the coffee, and used that for his social media content. It's great. I absolutely loved it. He did it. I was like, oh my God, I love you, because this is what I tell people to do all the time. Great ideas. Of course, it works really well. Then we've got product demos and teasers. So you've got a new product that you're coming out with. You're getting ready to, bring out the next new thing. Use an opportunity to record video and capture that new product. And you can do like a fun little like coming soon, and entice people to want to know more or learn more. Then what is the process to create something? So what is it? take for you to create a specific thing, and what goes into it, what goes behind it. And just, you don't have to show the whole thing, but maybe just short clips of what it is that you're doing. And then the other one is an invitation to an event. So we're getting ready, farmers market season's getting ready to kick off, and you're getting ready to do, maybe your first, market. This year you got a new product that you want to share, and we would love to have you come out to our farmers market at such and such a location, and use that as an incentive to get them to come out and really promote it and bring more traffic to you. All right, so Kim has asked to see if I have any questions, or if I could answer questions, and I've been kind of watching through the feed here, Kim. So I don't know, I made some notes too.
Okay.
Let's see here. I've got, somebody asked me about the music and copywriting issues.
Yep. Lots of questions on music.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, this gets tricky. So if you select the music within the platform itself, so Instagram has music that they approve and you use, you're good. TikTok, same thing. If you use an editing tool that has a library of kind of stock music, you're usually pretty good. Now, the Don't Worry, Be Happy song, I'm not exactly sure, but here's my guess, because I know some about ASCAP, which is the kind of the guiding light of the laws of the music world, is that if you use short snippets of a piece of music and don't use the entire thing, then technically you can kind of be okay, as long as it's not like a major promotion. Like you can't use it to go and like sell something. Can you use it on your page to showcase something? Yeah, that's like on the line. In general, though, I would highly recommend using stock music, because that's going to be the safe bet. Yeah, I'm not sure, like that person didn't get dinged for it. So I'm not exactly sure 100%, because we all know that song, right?
Yeah.
But they're the other ones that I showed you kind of had some stock music in the background. Absolutely okay, because it was already pre-approved. There is a good amount of library. And like, I know on Instagram, there's some popular ones that we all know that people use. They've been approved to have snippets. And so using those is completely okay.
Thank you. We have a question regarding, is there any data on the growth on Pinterest for vendors and farmers markets? One of the farmers market managers says she never would have thought of using that platform.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I don't have it in my back pocket, but what I can tell you is that through COVID, there has been a marked increase in activity on Pinterest. A lot of DIY. Of course, the demographic is 70% female. So if your business caters to that demographic, it is an ideal place. I would say it's most beneficial to businesses that have an e-commerce element to your business. So if you are selling things online and can ship things to other locations, it would probably be worth your energy to invest your time in that. If it's just your local vendor, you're not really selling things online, it's probably not the place for you to be, because ultimately the goal with Pinterest is to drive traffic to your website or entice them with your products and then work to get them to purchase. So, I will tell you, like, we started working with a client that was very skeptical about it and did not have a Pinterest account. They are in the beauty industry, and they have skyrocketed their amount of engagement to their website, their posts, their interest. Their business is crazy busy. And so I think it's a case-by-case scenario. I think you need to really look at what it is, that you're working with and what you're selling. And maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. So,
Shannon, what do you use to merge the clips together? Are you going to go into that in more detail later?
Yeah, I'm going to go into detail a little bit, because there are some that I personally use, but I know that there are so many of them on like the App Store and that kind of thing. And of course, on an agency level, we use some more sophisticated ones. But when I need to do a quick little thing for my own personal, like there's some great apps, and I'm going to get into those in just a minute.
Just to answer a question, yes, this is being recorded, and we will have the recordings available to anybody that's interested. Mary Delicate will put in the chat box how you can access the recording after this meeting. We have a question from Cheryl Bursch from the River Street Market. She says, as a farmer's market manager, it's so tempting to keep doing live videos after the market gets started up and the music gets going, but they tend to be long because I'm trying to quickly show what's happening at the market. Rarely do the live videos also show on Instagram. What do you recommend the day of the market to get the most impact?
Well, first of all, my initial suggestion would be to certainly do the build up before the market, because you want people to come out. People typically make their decisions to come to a market ahead of time. Okay, they may make it that morning, but you want to get on their radar way before, so that you're telling them what you're going to be doing, what your products are. Come check me out. This is opening weekend at such and such. And so I would really focus on the precursor to that. Then on opening day is a really good way, like as soon as you get your booth set up, or even while it's getting set up, use that time. I love the fact that you're doing live video, because live video is a really good way to engage people that are currently using the platform. They'll get a little notification. They can come in and watch what it is that you're talking about. And don't be concerned if you don't get a lot of eyeballs initially, because what will happen is the longer you're on there, the more people are coming and going. And then also that video will post on your page afterwards so people can continue to watch it. But I like the idea of what you're doing, and you're showcasing what it is that you're doing at the market, kind of giving people a feel for what the market's like. You might take the opportunity to snag one of your team members and kind of do a little feedback, like, are you excited today? What do you think is gonna, what is gonna be the top product we're gonna move today? I'm just trying to think, like, as the market starts getting busier, maybe take a quick moment, if you're able, to just kind of capture that busyness so that people know that it's a happening farmer's market, that kind of thing. So I hope that helps. Cheryl, I like the idea that you are doing live video, and I would definitely keep doing it. But my big thing is try to do some stuff ahead of time also.
And then I had a quick question, because this came up a lot during COVID. I noticed that the woman that was setting up the market was chewing gum. Are there no-nos that you should not do? Like, we couldn't show videos of people not wearing masks in the midst of mask mandates and pictures, et cetera. Are there, and maybe you'll be going over this and I'm jumping the gun, but are there things that you should really capture versus like not being able to see the wad of gum in your cheek while you're setting up, kind of thing,
Well, I know when I put that video together and I saw the gum in her mouth, I was like, ew, but the video itself was good once I took it off her face chewing the gum. Yeah, so that would definitely be something you don't want to do, is chew gum. I would make sure, okay, so we're going to get into live video. There's definitely some elements there that I'll cover. But some no-nos would be try to keep yourself, seem like you're organized. You don't want to seem scatterbrained or overly enthusiastic. Try to keep to your authentic self and stay organized. And we'll get into like things to do when you're talking to the camera, but I'm just trying to think no-nos. I think it's just a matter of like, whatever that scenario is, like there may be some rules or regs of what you can and cannot do. And I don't know, I can't really speak to that per se, but I would just be aware of, being careful. So this just came up in my mind, like, putting people on camera, asking their permission before you do that, because some people don't feel comfortable going on camera. So if you're doing a live video, it might be okay to pan, but don't focus on one particular person and get them to come in and talk. That might put them on the spot, make them feel uncomfortable. You might say, hey, do you mind? I'm going to go live. Would you mind giving me some feedback on, what you think of our products? So you're kind of working that up ahead of time. I very rarely run into a situation where somebody is like, don't use me on video or don't use me in photo, but it happens, and especially with kids. So that would be the main one I would think of. Other than that, I don't think there's much else except for just situational. Any other questions?
I think we're good right now. Back to you.
All righty.
I feel like Vanna. Back to you, Pat.
Well, thank you, Vanna.
You're welcome. Thank you, Shannon.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about what are those key components to an effective video. These, if you learn these, you can get a video accomplished. Okay. So very first thing is make them short and snackable. I love the word snackable because that's exactly what you want them to do, is to be able to just kind of eat those little videos up, get what they need, fuel up and go. So just give them a little bit of nugget, that 30 to 60 seconds is what you're looking at. The next three things, I want you to think of them as the building bricks to creating a video. So, you've got your first, your second, and your third. So your first thing is you've got to have an attention grabber. You want to get them hooked in so that they're going to watch your video. So we call it the hook. So you want to use like a startling fact or a message that piques their curiosity. Something that gets them to go, huh, what's this about? And then once you do that attention grabber, then you're going to want to get into what I call the meat. Okay, so the educating and the entertaining component, and or both. So it just depends on whatever your topic is. So if you're educating on something, then you want to think about what are the steps that you're educating. Usually if you have points, you want to keep them short and sweet. So 1 to 3, maybe 4 points, hit on those points real quickly and be done. Especially if it's a pre-made video, if it's like a live situation, that's different. But if it's like a pre-done video, you want to think about those particular elements and keep them short and sweet. If it's entertaining, then you want to think about, okay, well, what is going to be the process that I'm going to do in order to make this entertaining? Is it a sequence of really interesting captures of the process of something that I'm doing? Is it a reveal of a product? What is that thing? Okay. And then always have a call to action or a purpose at the end. You want that person to know what they need to do after they watch your video. So you can say, do these strawberries look amazing? Well, guess what? We're going to be at the Mannequin Market this coming Saturday between the hours of 8 and noon. Come on out and get your strawberries. We'll have them waiting for you. Some kind of call to action at the end so that they know that what they need to do. Come find you at Mannequin Market between a certain set of hours, and you will be there with their strawberries. If it's read my blog, because I just did this amazing blog about our process or what it is that we do. And it's a lot easier to kind of refer people there and also drive traffic to your website. That's a great call to action. Okay. Or follow me. Hey, you just listened to all this great content, do a girl a favor here. Follow me. Right. All right. Any questions on the components of effective video?
I think we're good right now.
All right. Okay, what do you need to get started? Number one, a smartphone. Okay, we all pretty much have those under wraps. Photo editing apps. Somebody asked earlier about some apps. I took a screenshot of my phone of the ones that I like to use. My favorite is InShot, InShot. That app, actually, you can get a lot of really great features for free, and you can do all that you need to do for free. If you decide you want to become a photographer that does incredible editing and you want to get access to some more fancy pants tools, then you can certainly pay. It's not going to break your bank, but you can get a lot of really great stuff accomplished with the free version of it. You can do videos in different canvases. So what I mean by that is you can do a video in the 9:16 ratio, as well as a 16:9, also in square. So it will allow you to create videos in different sizes. It's got a bunch of other little elements that you can add, with adding copy and GIFs and colors and filters and all kinds of fun stuff. My next favorite is Video Shop. I think I paid like $4.99 for it once, and I now own it and I use it. It was like a one-time lifetime access fee. I'm not sure if that's the way they still do things because I got it several years ago. But I also really enjoy that tool. It's super straightforward and super easy to use. And then if you're not familiar with Canva, get familiar with it. Canva is a fantastic tool, not only for now video editing, but also you can create lots of graphics in there, edit photos. It's a fantastic tool. I mean, you can accomplish so much. So I have other ones on there. Clips is an Apple-based program. Boomerang, that's a video thing that, you know, it's a constant kind of cyclic type thing where you're doing something and they just keep doing it. And that's mostly used on like Instagram. Big View is a teleprompter app. So you can actually you can put in a script and record yourself saying that script with Big View. It's quite cool. And then it's got an editing feature to it as well. You can not only use it on your phone to edit, but you can also use it on a desktop. So there is a cost to it. They do, I believe, have a free trial, so you can try it, make sure you like it before you invest in it. And then Spark Camera, I don't use now. I think I loaded it on there at some point. It just kind of happened on my screenshot. So I don't have a lot to say about it. And then collages for pictures. Hopefully that's helpful with some apps. Again, I know there are a ton of apps out there. Of course, I go for free, quick and easy. Video Shop and InShot, great apps. The next thing I would highly recommend if you do not have it is getting yourself a simple tripod or a selfie stick. There are actually selfie sticks out there that turn into tripods, so they're multiple, so you can bring the tripod in, use it as a selfie stick, or just do the tripod part. And then the one that's pictured here is a basic Amazon tripod that can fit a camera, but can also fit a cell phone on it. So if you wanted to stage something, you could use this. You would need to get a clip to hold your phone on the top. That's an extra accessory. And then that would screw in on the top. But the tripod itself is like $29, I believe. And so really you can get outfitted with a tripod, selfie stick, and a microphone if you want to invest in that for around, I would say, between the $80 and $100 range. And then once you get them, you've got them. You just take care of them, and they'll hold you over for a little while. Now, the microphones I would recommend would be either a shotgun mic, which a shotgun mic it's that microphone that sits on top that points right at the subject. So when somebody talks, it picks up the sound right in front of it, and it doesn't pick up as much of the ambient sound around it. It mostly picks up what's in front of it. That is a good one for more of an indoor type use. If you're going to use it outdoor, you're going to want to use a windscreen, which is that fuzzy thing that's in the picture that keeps the kind of the blowing wind off the microphone that will give it kind of that kind of sound. The other one that I really like and I would recommend to everyone if you're going to get a microphone is the lavalier microphone. And you can get one to plug into your smartphone, and it's got a cable, it connects right to your phone, and it clips onto your shirt, and then it will pick up whatever it is that you're saying. You can get them with super long cables. You can get them where they split off, and you can connect two people to talk at the same time. In those microphones, the lavalier mics, I think they're like about $30, $40, and they work really well, really, really well. All right, things to consider when you're recording your video. And gosh, I didn't realize, Kim, it's like 6:50 already. We're doing okay?
We're doing great. We do have a couple of questions though.
Okay.
Before you move on to the next thing. Somebody wants to know, can you pause and change scenes, or do you have to shoot a series of scenes and stitch together with an editor?
Yes and yes. It depends on the editor you're using. Video Shop has the ability to record the video within the app. So you can record the video, put it on what's called ghost mode, and then move to the next scene and hit record again, and then hit ghost mode again. So you can actually build out your video within Video Shop itself doing that. Or the other way, that usually what I do is I just use my phone and I capture all the content that I want. So from pictures to video. And then afterwards, when I have a moment, I sit down and I stitch it all together with an editor.
Thank you. I think we're good. Vathma commented that we love Canva, and we do. As well as we have a comment that you can find tripods at thrift stores as well. Will you be providing us with a resource sheet for all of the apps, et cetera, that you have been talking about?
I don't, but what I can do is I can provide the PowerPoint if you want.
That would be lovely. We would love that. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll send that over to you so they can have it.
All right.
Yep.
Back to you.
All right. Okay, things to consider when you're recording your video. Very first thing, make sure you got your battery charged, because when you do start recording video, it does eat up your battery faster. Also, if you've got a phone that's a little older, the batteries don't last as long. So you really want to make sure that's done. You can also get backup batteries and have those with you. So if you know you're going to be out at a farmer's market, your signal might be slightly dicey or whatever, and your phone's like on overdrive and you know you're going to eat up your battery, bring yourself an extra battery charger. That way you don't run out of power. The other one is to put your phone on do not disturb mode. I don't know if you've ever experienced this. I know I have, because I've forgotten to put it on disturb mode and been in the middle of a live video or recording a video and my phone rings. There's nothing more distracting than having your phone ring while you're trying to do a video, right? So you can actually, there's a feature in your settings where you can set your phone to do not disturb. So no emails or notifications or phone calls or anything like that comes through your phone, so that you can focus on your video. Just remember to turn it off when you're done. Unless you don't want to get phone calls. Then also, when you're recording, you always want to look directly into the lens of your phone. It seems more natural to look at the center of the face of your phone, but you're going to look weird. You're going to look like you're looking down. It's not going to look great. So you're going to want to make sure that you're focused right on where the camera is. It takes a little practice. One of the tricks that I had back in the day was to like stick a little sticky note up near the lens. So that reminded me to say, look here. Like literally got a sticky pad and wrote look here and stuck it on the lens so that I remembered to look there so that I didn't look weird. The other one is you want to avoid digital zooming. And what I mean by that is once you point your camera on the subject, you want to keep yourself from taking your thumbs and zooming in on the subject. The best thing to do is to get closer to it if at all possible. The reason is it makes things very pixelated. The best scenario would be to have it further in the distance. Then when you do the editing, crop. And then your video will still be clear, because then you just be able to crop out the stuff around it. And that works same thing for like taking pictures. Okay, and then this is my thing. When you're recording the videos, you want to think, okay, so you're going to stumble. You're going to say the wrong thing. You're going to like forget what you need to say. So this is my thing. Anytime I mess up, I tell myself, okay, Shannon, pause. Think about what it is that you need to say. Then smile. Take a deep breath and then start again. Okay. And let the camera continue to roll unless it's live. Okay. But you can always clip out that stuff in between. So rather than film, like if you're trying to record a 1.5-minute video or something, or, you know, as we say, do it within a minute, and you're stumbling over something, it's always, you know, instead of going all the way back to the beginning, because maybe the beginning was like so amazing and that was like the best run you ever did, and then you stumbled over something later, just stop and then start where you think you need to start again, and then record that element again. And then just when you're editing, you can cut out that stuff that you don't like. And then the other one is making sure that you always have good lighting, and consider the backdrop behind you. You know, you want to maybe test things out beforehand to make sure it looks clear and that the focus is good. Natural lighting wins out every time. If you're inside, those overhead lights tend to kind of flicker and sometimes they make things look a little weird. So it's always best to try to do video outside if you can, unless you master the whole lighting thing and you got an area that's really super bright. Okay, stage fright. It's amazing the most confident people that get in front of a camera. It is amazing to see what happens to them in front of a camera. You know, I think back to my very first video that I created, and it was awful, guys. It was absolutely awful. And so, you know, you just, you know, you can't. So the very first thing I put on there is, before anything else, preparation is key to success. So if you've got an idea and you want to float it and you want to do it, you got to prepare. Think through the steps. Think through what is it that you're going to say. Practice on your phone, right? So you're going to want to write out your video plan or your script ahead of time, so you have an idea as to what it is that you're going to say. Help yourself. If you've got somebody that can help hold cue cards for you behind the camera, or you have you know, sticky notes that you can put up somewhere, do whatever you need to do to help yourself or prompt yourself through the video. Record yourself, practice, because then you'll notice all of a sudden that you like that word or a lot, or you know, the kinds of things that a lot of people say a lot is kind of like those like moments when you're pausing. Okay. And so you're not going to know that about yourself until you actually record yourself, and then you can kind of see the weird things that you do that you really want to work on. And I love this one. Remember that you are your harshest critic. So it's not as bad as you think it is, right? We always think the worst of ourselves, when in reality, it's really not that bad. In fact, it's probably really good. So give yourself some credit, give yourself a pat on the back that you did something, that you created a video, and just remember that everybody has to start somewhere. Again, if you fumble your words, remember the pause, think, smile, continue. And the other thing is, if you're like, you feel like I'm the most boringest person, I totally don't want the camera on myself, put it on somebody else. And put it on like product or something like that and talk, you know. So there are ways to create that video where your face does not have to be on that camera. So any questions about any of that? All right, moving on. Okay, tools to help edit video content. We kind of already approached that already. Got ahead of myself a little bit on that one. Talked about Canva. There is a free version of it. There's also a paid version, which for $12.95 a month is well worth every penny, especially if you're creating signs for your business, if you're having to create social media graphics, event graphics, short video clips, all of that. Canva is so worth it. So highly recommend it. The other thing that you'll want to have actually on your phone, okay, so that the technical struggle I hear from folks is, great, I've captured all this content on my phone. I don't have time to edit it on my phone. I'd like to do it on my computer because I have this really great tool. How do I get the videos off my phone? Well, if you're a Mac user, of course you've got AirDrop as an option. You can AirDrop stuff from your phone to your computer. The other alternative is to install Google Drive and or Dropbox onto your phone, and you can upload your files into those particular cloud-based storage solutions. So then, of course, when you go to your phone or you go to your computer, you can get access to your pictures, your videos, and you can download them to your computer, and then you can start working on editing and that kind of thing. So personally, for me, Google Drive is my friend. I use that more than Dropbox. You know, we use it here in the agency, and then, of course, myself. And I find it super easy to upload everything I need to do, and then I work on it later. That being said, you want to make sure you're in a good Wi-Fi situation, because if you're transferring video files and pictures and you're not in a strong signal area, then it's not going to work well for you. So you might have to wait till you go home, get on your Wi-Fi, and then upload the documents. All right, tips to sharing video content on social platforms. So this is a whole thing, and I know we don't have enough time to like get into every nit and gritty of everything, but I wanted to go through the main basics. My assumption or hope is that you do have some familiarity with Facebook and Instagram, to the point where you understand how to post content to it. So I wanted to go through some of the basics that you want to consider when you're dealing with video content. So always, I recommend uploading content natively to the social platform, meaning that you have the original file and you are actually posting that file onto the platform. Okay, so like TikTok, Reels, you have to do it that way. Facebook, LinkedIn, if you happen to be using that for whatever reason, and or Pinterest, you may find that you have to share a link. And so what that might entail is uploading a video to YouTube and then sharing that link within your social platform. That's really something you would only want to consider in the event that your video is really long, and the file size is really large. If you're doing videos that are up to a minute long, these short videos, it's not going to take as long. So you're going to want to upload those videos directly. When possible, use captions to stay ADA compliant. This is becoming even more important these days. So these apps do give you the option to add captions. You can also use a tool called rev.com. Literally, that's the website, rev.com. You submit the video, they'll create the captions. They can actually install the captions on the video for you. Very minimal cost. I think it's like $1.50 a minute. And then if you want to have them install it, I think it's another $1.50. So literally you can have all that done in a matter of hours. You can have the video taken care of. So that's something I would consider. Then when you create the videos, you want to make sure you create the format of the video to actually meet the platform that you're going to be sharing it on. Typically, if you're going to be sharing stuff on Facebook, Instagram, you're going to be using square video, unless you're posting to Reels or Snapchat or YouTube Shorts or TikTok. Then you're going to need a 16:9 ratio, which is the length of your phone. Okay, so you just want to think about that ahead of time. What I typically tell folks is if you're not going to be sharing it on like TikTok or TikTok or Snapchat or Reels, then creating a square video typically works well anywhere. Okay. You want to consider a thumbnail in the places where you can actually add one. And a thumbnail is that first image that people see when they're scrolling through on your platform. The reason for that is if you don't, Facebook or Instagram is going to pick the most ugliest version of yourself and put it up there as a thumbnail. That means your triple chin, your zit on your face is going to be right front and center. Whatever it is, it's going to find that, right? So if you can create the thumbnail ahead of time and use that, I would recommend it. And then when you're actually uploading the content and you're putting it into the platforms themselves, you always want to put a title for your subject. So, you might say opening day at Mannequin Market, come get your strawberries. So we're using keywords like Mannequin Market, strawberries. You have a title. People understand what the video is about just by looking at that title. And then always include copy about the video and what it is that you're saying within the copy area. Depending on the platform, usually you want to add hashtags because hashtags really help with the search functionality. So, and that's a whole nother subject is the whole hashtag thing. But when people are searching for content on Instagram and TikTok, they're looking for key topics. So if you're uploading a video about baked goods and about chocolate chip cookies, then you want to use the hashtag chocolate chip cookies or fresh baked or, just cookies in general, So hashtags that are like search type words. Okay. And that's something that maybe you want to research ahead of time so that you'll have an idea as to what it is that you want to use. Any questions on this? All right. All right. Now with scheduling content, with Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, you can actually post either through your phone app or you can post on the desktop. So what it does, it comes down to what is easiest for you. I tend to like my desktop because I don't know about you, but my eyesight's failing because I'm getting older, but messing around on my cell phone makes my eyes get crazy. So for me, I would much rather upload content and deal with it on my computer. Again, that's your call. So for Facebook, if you're not familiar with it, there's something called Facebook Creator Studio. Facebook Creator Studio will actually allow you to upload and schedule your content, so videos, graphics, pictures, whatever, to Facebook and Instagram. All right, I put the link there at the bottom. It's business.facebook.com/creator studio. You can get access to that once you log into your personal Facebook account and you type in that URL. It will automatically recognize your personal Facebook account and what accounts you have access to for Business Manager. And then you can go in and actually physically schedule stuff out within Creator Studio so that it goes up when you want it to go up. The one thing that it doesn't do, though, is it will not let you schedule content to Reels. In fact, there's not a scheduling tool out there yet that will allow you to schedule content to Reels. That has to be done manually on your phone. And then, you know, I don't know if that's going to happen down the road or what, but I'm guessing it's probably going to. I know TikTok. We actually have a tool we use in the agency called Loomly. That's LOOMLY, and that does let us schedule for TikTok. But the difference is, you know, uploading these videos natively directly, if you have the time, works best for the algorithm. And you can do it when, you know, while you're sitting there on the fly and can be done with it. So if you can manage it that way, that would be my recommendation. But you can schedule things, okay, for Facebook and Instagram. So, and also in case you didn't realize too, for a long time, if you use the desktop version of Instagram, you could not post directly from that desktop version. You can do that now. So you can post videos, regular posts, schedule it. Actually, it won't let you schedule. You can only post on there. The only way you can schedule is doing it through Creator Studio. Okay, and then TikTok will let you post directly to the platform on the desktop as well as your phone. All right, so it looks like I have a question. How many hashtags should you use for a post? Claire, so the rule of thumb is, you know, hashtags are mostly used in valuable on Instagram and TikTok. So on Instagram, you can use up to 30 hashtags on a feed post. On a reel, you don't necessarily need that many, nor do you have the capacity to add that much copy. So the copy is a little more limited. But I would suggest using, if you can get it in there, anywhere between 5 and maybe 7 to 10 hashtags. And on Facebook, don't really need them. And then TikTok, I would incorporate several, so 3 to 6 maybe, if you can get them in there, and just use different variety of hashtags. So the hashtags you want to select should be location based, so like RVA, Petersburg, Colonial Heights. Then you got your subject base, so farmers market, strawberries, baked goods, and then you've got your normal branded hashtags, so like, you know, Agriberry or, you know, VAFMA. You know, you want to use specific hashtags for your brand as well. So hopefully that helps answer that question. And then the other one is, recently when I try to do a reel on Facebook, it won't let me use any music. I get an error message. Any insights as to why? Amy, I'm not sure if you've got a company Instagram page or a personal Instagram page, there might be something with that. I know there's a little bit of different rules on how things are done on a personal reel versus a business reel. Okay, business. Was it recently converted to a business page, or has it always been a business? That's my next question. So that's one, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to answer that overnight. I think it'd be one of those things that we'd have to figure that out. What you might try is uninstalling the app and reinstalling it and then re-logging back in. I know a lot of times when things get wonky or crazy within the platforms, doing that will reset things. And so that might help. Okay. So hashtags aren't effective or relevant for Facebook. Not really. You can use one or two, but generally people aren't searching for hashtags on Facebook. You might use a branded hashtag, but you don't need all the stuff that you put on Instagram. Okay. All right. Going live, I wanted to cover that real quick before we close up and have more questions. So definitely going live is a huge component, especially for what you all do. And you can go live on Facebook and Instagram. So, what I would suggest is try it on both. Try to see which one works best for you. Where are your followers mostly? Are they on Instagram? Are they on Facebook? I do know some people really like Instagram because if you've got a following there that is more native or more interested in what it is that you're doing, you'll more than likely get better traction maybe on Instagram. Facebook's still good. It just, again, it depends on your demographic. If your demographic is kind of like that 30-year-old, like maybe 20-year-old, you may want to look at Instagram. If it's more kind of like Gen X, baby boom, older millennial, Facebook. So it's a test thing. I would try both. But things to think about. You want to make sure that you have a strong Wi-Fi signal, number one. So there's nothing more embarrassing than like pulling up your phone, doing a Facebook Live, and then it's just in and out. It cuts you off. So you want to make sure wherever you are, look at your amount of Wi-Fi strength that you have and make sure that it's going to be good. Okay. I know some of these places you may go, it may not be so great. So then unfortunately live is probably not what you want to do. But if you are able to do it, then it's great. So the other thing you want to think about is what is the purpose or reason and format for your live experience? What are you going to be doing for live? Are you just randomly going, I just want to go live and like show off what's going on? I probably would think through a little more strategic approach, think like, how am I going to encapsulate what's going on? Do I have people that can come on camera with me and add some interest so that it's not just me talking? Am I showcasing a particular product or talking about a certain thing? Am I doing a food demo? Am I showcasing the band because it is like seriously amazing, and trying to showcase the band and then also kind of give the vibe of the moment, So these are all things that, you kind of want to think about before you actually hit the live. And then you can practice going live before. So practice kind of goes into the scenario of like preparing for what you're going to talk about, but it also is the matter of you actually going on the phone, making sure that you have everything set up. You've got the copy set up, you've got the phone situated the way you want it before you go live, and making sure you understand what needs to happen in order to make that happen. Do you want to mic someone up so that the sound is better, that kind of thing. And then before you actually hit that live button, be sure to complete the copy area and say why you're doing the video. You could even do like a little trick question, say like, have you ever been to Mannequin Market before? Well, if not, check it out. It's awesome, and then like literally people, will hopefully see that, want to pop on and see what's going on. And then that would include adding your hashtags. And that's just, like I said, that's just a little nugget ahead of time so they know what to expect. Okay. Let's see, I see to have a strong Wi-Fi signal, isn't cellular data more reliable? I'm not sure. I'm looking at a question here from Walt. I'm not sure what you mean by that. If you have further clarification, go ahead and put that in the comments there. All right. So I got a pop quiz for you. How do you create great video content? Is it do what I say? Is it just start? Or is it consider everything that I just talked about? So anybody want to put anything in the chat? I will be happy to see what you say, but it could also be all of the above. So guys, it's a lot of information. My biggest, when I'm talking to clients and they're struggling with video, my very first thing I tell them is figure out some basic topics and just start. Don't let your head get too far deep into it. Don't like overthink it. You want to do some planning so you don't look crazy on the video, because none of us want to look crazy unless you do want to look crazy. Once you do that and you start doing a couple videos, it gets easier and easier. And then, all these like TikTok videos and Instagram videos, there's all these like creative things that people are doing. I couldn't even go down that rabbit hole today because there's so much like trending, like things that are happening, what people are doing on their videos. What I do see though that people do is they're very quick to jump on the bandwagon of a particular theme or something that's going on, or trend that's going on. Okay, those are fun, but what I would suggest is always remember your brand. Remember what your business is about and create content that resonates with that brand. I would hesitate to stay away from trendy things unless it's your personal account, because ultimately you want people to not be confused about what it is that you're doing. So when you go to, your TikTok page or your Instagram page, focus on what it is that you're about. What kind of business do you have? What kind of business do you run? And that's the kind of content that you want to focus on, and not follow the most trendiest cute dog thing that people are doing, right? So that's my wisdom. I see Kim has put some comments in here. I think we've got a couple minutes left. Does anybody have any other specific questions that maybe I didn't address that you were hoping to hear about?
You've got Shannon. Now's the time to ask her question.
I know someone's typing right now, and it's going to like come through like just the last second.
Well, what are your thoughts on iMovie?
My thoughts are great thing to use. If you've got it, use it. If it works for you, use it. I think it's the free product, comes with Mac. So, heck, I love free. So it comes down to what's easy for you. Like on the fly, is it easier for you to have a basic app on your phone where you can just kind of throw the videos in, get it edited, and then get it posted? Or are you the person that wants to, upload it to your computer and edit it that way? What tool is easier for you? Is it iMovie? Is it Video Shop? What is it? But Video Shop is absolutely good. So.
A bit more general, how do you use stories versus posts on Facebook and Insta?
Yeah, that's a good question. So stories are really for an audience that you've already captured. So I'll give you an example. There's a gym I go to. They do stories to entertain their gym members. So they do recaps at the end of each day, talk about how the classes went, what's going on, what events they have coming up. And so that is sort of like a retainer tool. You want to think of it as a way to, when you got your audience captured, to continue to feed them interesting information. The posts can serve as that as well, but it's also more likely that somebody will find your content faster through posts than they will through a story. So Reels, also using Reels is a really valuable way to get in front of an audience that you have not yet captured. So, and that works for both Facebook and Instagram.
Can you upload TikTok to Facebook and Instagram, or only Reels?
TikTok. Okay. Well, So here's the deal. If you use a TikTok video on Instagram or Facebook, you do get dinged in the algorithm because it's got the TikTok logo on it. So my suggestion would be to create a video that doesn't have the TikTok logo on it, upload it to TikTok separately and to Facebook and Reels separately so that it doesn't have that branding on it. And then that will work better for you.
Thank you. Walt wants to know, what is the easiest, the most intuitive, and what app has the most features?
My favorite is InShot, INSHOT, one word. It's got the most features. It's pretty straightforward. Once you get in there and kind of move around a little bit, it's pretty easy to use. Okay.
Any other questions? While y'all are putting your last questions in chat, I want to encourage everybody to, when you are tagging on Insta or Facebook or any of the social media platforms, please make sure that you tag VAFMA and our hashtags that Mary dropped into the chat earlier, or hashtag VA Farmers Markets and hashtag Love VA Markets. We always are looking for content that we can use on our Instagram and our Facebooks, et cetera, and we love to share what you guys are posting. So if you tag us, then we can repost for you. Let's see, we do have another question. Again, as a market, we like to share our vendors' posts. Is there a way to share across platforms at once? Instagram, I can only share to stories, and that doesn't feel effective. I have that problem too. Please help us, Shannon.
Okay, so we're sharing share across platforms at once. IG, I can only share. So when you you definitely you want to keep it within the platform when you're sharing it, for sure. You don't want to cross share, because technically the posts should be suited to the platform, right? So I know a really effective thing to do is, if you see somebody post about your product on their own page, maybe use your hashtag or tag you and you're like, oh, that's so cool. Then, you can do things like share it into your stories. And when you share into stories, it will let you also post to Facebook stories. So that is one way to do it. And then other ways is, screen capture, share as well, like the post, so you can recreate it in a way. But I would ask the customer first if you could share it on your profile. Trying to think with Facebook. I mean, Facebook's easy. You just hit the share button and share it. But I mean, I think that's kind of it. Unfortunately, there's not really an all button, unfortunately, for all of that. So
it would be nice if there was.
Yeah.
Cheryl says that she screenshots a lot, and that works, and I do that too. But it'd be nice if you could just say, I'd like to share this across every platform that we're on. And
Cheryl, reach out to Mark Zuckerberg for me and let me know what he says.
I will, after I ask him for about $10 million. Any last questions that you guys have? Because we've got a couple of minutes. While you're thinking of your last questions, I want to remind you guys, number one, if you would please take the survey. We've dropped the link. Michael Carter has dropped the link in a couple of times, and I dropped it back in. It'll take just it's a very short survey, and that gives Virginia State University the feedback they need in order for us to continue to be able to do this series and bring it to you guys for free. So please just take a moment and fill that out for us. And I also dropped in the link, as did Mary Delicate, the YouTube channel for VAFMA, which is where this video will be uploaded to, so that you all can access it and go back to it. Shannon will forward to me her PowerPoint presentation, and we will put that on the vafma.org website under trainings. And so look for that in the next couple of days. Give us a little bit of time to get this downloaded and cut out our chatter in the beginning. And Mary will make it pretty and put it up on YouTube, and we'll have it all on our Facebook page for you. And then the good news is that we have 2 more sessions that are coming up that are also free for you. They are on Wednesday night. So next Wednesday, they're both this month, and they're both free, and they're at the same time. So next Wednesday night, which is April 20th from 6 to 7:30, we are going to cover market day prep for farmers market success. We're going to talk about what you need to do and bring to sell at farmers markets. You'll leave the webinar with a checklist to use throughout the season. So everything from your go bag to, here's what you need to know in order to be successful at a farmers market. So that's next Wednesday, and that's free, but you do have to sign up for it. You have to sign up for each of these through the VSU link. And then on the following week, which is Wednesday, April 27th, when did we get through April? My goodness. Again, from 6 to 7:30, we're going to cover food safety for farmers market vendors. This is going to be in depth. We're going to share when food inspection is required, how to obtain an inspection, and the exemptions from inspection in the Virginia food laws. This workshop will touch on all applicable laws and regulations, food labeling and packaging, and it'll also cover my favorite topic, because it's the one that I seem to be chasing a lot: hemp, what you can and cannot sell at a Virginia farmers market. And that is a big old list. So those are both free. Feel free. We're going to have the food safety is more in depth than what we've already done this year. It's going to be an hour and a half, and we will have our friends from VDAC, Virginia Department of Health, as well as other organizations coming in and giving you the overview. And like I said, next week is Market Day Prep for Farmers Market Success. So what do you need to bring to sell at a farmers market? Any last, Mary Delicate has done a great job. She's just put the link in the chat for our training. So make sure that you copy and paste that, and please fill out the survey for Michael Carter, because we do want to have the opportunity to continue to do these. I will shamelessly again thank Michael Carter and Virginia State University for allowing us to do this series of farmers market preparedness for farmers, vendors, market managers, etc. Last thoughts for Shannon before we say thank you and good night. Shannon, I cannot thank you enough for doing this for us. Who knew that doing a charity to support farmers markets at a concert here in Midlothian and us working together behind a booth would lead to you now doing all this great training for us. So I cannot thank you enough. This was fabulous.
Thank you. This is a pleasure. Thank you.
It has been wonderful. And Shannon is local, and she is available here in Virginia to work with any of you. So we will have her contact information if y'all are interested in pursuing this conversation. But again, thank you so much, Shannon, for being with us tonight, and for all of you that have joined us. And thank you, Michael Carter, who is out on the soccer field, for facilitating this for us. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and thank you, Michael. That's very sweet. I'm going to go ahead and end recording and say good night. And we look forward to seeing you all next Wednesday.
Good night, everyone.